So let's talk about the Nintendo Switch online service. Nintendo did just recently give us more details on the Nintendo Switch online service. Now today is actually the day of the Nintendo Direct that was supposed to happen last week. So we are going to be getting an official Direct from Nintendo. And yes, I will be actually talking about my thoughts and opinions right after the Direct. I will be posting a video on that matter. So if you want to see my thoughts and opinions on the recent Nintendo Direct that's going to be happening today, stay tuned to the channel. But I want to talk more specifically about the online service because they did state when it's actually coming out. It's going to be coming out in the US, I think September 17th, September 18th. They did make an official statement on that. Actually, I kind of wish they would have gave us a little bit more time right after the Direct. I wish they would have said maybe September 20 something because that seems a little bit too short notice, and since the Nintendo Direct was supposed to happen last week, September 18th would have actually been a very great date to actually tell the customers, because I think that's what they were going to do in the latest Nintendo Direct that was supposed to happen last week, but since they didn't do that, it kind of seems short notice. The nice thing about it is they did state that we all are going to be getting a free trial, just like Xbox Live gives out free trials, or just like PSN gives out free trials. So we will be getting free trials when it comes to the Nintendo online service if you don't know how it's going to work. But really, we don't need free trials for it because we all know how this is going to play out. Realistically, we all know you're going to have to pay to play the first-party titles online. They did also confirm that free games like Fortnite and Paladins are going to be free to play, and that's actually quite good because on other consoles, I know like the PlayStation and the Xbox, if there's a game on the store that's a free game that has online functionality, they're not going to charge you for online, and that actually makes sense because who's going to buy a free game and then say, well, I have to pay $20? That means pretty much the game is not free anymore. It's going to be a $20 game, so I'm glad they're allowing to do that. I'm still kind of up in the air about the third-party games. How are the third-party games going to work? Is it going to be a game-to-game basis, or is it not going to be a game-to-game basis? I'm thinking it's going to be a game-to-game basis because I actually do remember now that one of the companies that's making a recent game, Diablo 3, is confirmed for the Nintendo Switch, and they actually said it's going to have online functionality, but unfortunately, it is going to require the online paid subscription to use the online functionality. So I'm assuming third-party games is going to be a game-to-game basis when it comes to that thing. And some other things about the online service, which I still want to know more information on, is the fact that we don't know anything about the rest of the games that are coming to the online service. And that's actually the biggest thing that's going to be in the online service, the free 20 games. Now, granted, the 20 games that we're getting aren't anything amazing and aren't anything spectacular. They're the same old NES games or old school retro games that you've maybe played or not played. It's nice that they're going to be on the Nintendo Switch, and it is nice we'll be able to play these on the TV and take these on the go. So I am actually quite excited for that. But outside of the NES experiences outside of the NES games or outside of the retro games coming to the online service from Nintendo, I'm not really too excited for the online service. That's the only thing I'm really excited for. So I'm probably going to end up paying for the online service from Nintendo just for that reason alone. Outside of the NES games, there's not really much to look forward to when it comes to the online service from Nintendo because, well, we don't really have much, to be honest. We do have a cloud save feature. The cloud save feature, I do have to admit, is a nice feature on the Nintendo Switch. It's kind of already an old feature on other consoles, whether it be the PS4 or Xbox One. So I don't know why Nintendo didn't release this sooner and didn't have this on day one. Also, I don't really understand why we don't have local backup saves anyway in the first place. If you remember the Wii U had backup saves in the first place. You can actually transfer all your games to like a hard drive that was plugged into the Wii U, or like a flash drive, or like the SD card. You can transfer your games over, but here you can't really transfer your games to your micro SD card that's actually into the Switch. So it's kind of puzzling me why they're doing this, and it does suck too that the cloud saving feature is going to be locked behind, or is going to be tied to certain games only. Developers can opt out of it, and even Nintendo's doing this for certain games, like I've already mentioned in a previous video. I talked about how Splatoon 2, I talked about how the new Pokemon's not going to get it. I talked about how NBA 2K19 is not going to get it. FIFA 19 is not going to get it. Dead Cells ain't going to get it. I talked about a lot of games not going to be able to get in cloud save, and that does really suck. The reason they're doing that is because they don't want people manipulating the system. They don't want people cheating. They don't want people hacking it. But you know those people are going to find a way anyway, and if they're going to do it, they're going to do it anyway. Is that really going to stop people? No. I guess it's going to prevent some certain people who are going to do it in the first place to not do it. But it does ruin the fun for everyone else. Like, I know most people out there, there's probably more people out there than people that are dishonest, and it does suck for people who want to actually back up their saves like me. I'm an honest Joe, and I don't care about hacking the system. I don't care about emulating the the system. I don't care about cheating in my online games. I want to back up my game saves and like Splatoon 2 because I put a lot of work in that game. And what happens if my data goes sour on that game? I'll never be able to get it back. And it took me way too long to get to where I am in Splatoon 2, so it does suck that the cheaters are actually ruining the fun for people who are not cheating, which does suck, and it's kind of Nintendo's fault also. They need to find a way to where people can't manipulate the system and still allow us to have game save backups on different games like Splatoon 2, Dead Cells, 2K19, FIFA 19. It's just ridiculous that a lot of these games aren't actually going to be getting cloud save feature, which is pretty much a slap in the face for a lot of Nintendo Switch users. That's pretty much one of the biggest reasons why people are going to be paying for the online service. Sure, you can play games online, you get these old school retro games for free and things like that, but it does suck that a lot of people who are looking forward to the cloud saving feature of the online service aren't going to be able to use it to its full potential, just because a lot of games aren't going to be able to use the cloud save feature. And if a developer also already abandoned their game on Nintendo Switch, you're not going to be able to use the cloud save feature, because you think they're going to go back to the Nintendo Switch after they've already abandoned the platform, already abandoned their game. Of course, not like games that came out earlier in the Nintendo Switch's lifetime, then of course they're not really going to care about it. They just threw a game up to make a quick buck, and they don't care about their game. They're not updating their game regularly. They're not adding new content. They're probably not going to enable cloud saves. It does suck. I don't know why this is not a universal feature on the Nintendo Switch. Make it a universal feature where pretty much every game that's on Nintendo Switch gets cloud save, period. That's the way it needs to go. Now, going back to the old school retro games I was talking about, that is one of the most exciting features of the online Nintendo Switch service. And I was browsing around the internet, actually on Nintendo's official website, more information on the whole online service from Nintendo for the Switch, and I actually realized one little thing, and I'm actually kind of worried about this. This may be a good thing or this may be a bad thing. It actually says on their actual website that games will be added frequently to the online service, and that actually has me worried, or it could be a good thing. The reason it makes me worried is because I'm worried that this might be like a whole Netflix thing, or like some of those online video subscription services where they actually switch out movies each and every month. I actually don't want Nintendo switching games out each and every month or every other week or whatever. I want them to actually keep the games that are currently on the Nintendo online service to stay on the Nintendo Switch online service. I just want them to add games regularly, because there's no reason they should be switching out games, and you know those games are very, very low in memory, and they can easily have those stored online, so I don't see why they would want to switch them in and out. If they want to make this thing more appealing to people, they keep every single game they currently have on it and just keep adding on to the mixture, because it sucks that, for instance, my favorite game might be, let's say, Super Mario Bros., the one on the NES. I'm playing that thing, but then the next month I'm like, well, crap, it's removed from the online service from Nintendo. It's going to boil my blood, and it's really going to piss me off that I'm a paying customer for this thing, and they're removing one of my favorite games that I'm playing on my Nintendo Switch. You just can't remove that from the Nintendo Switch because I'm a paying customer. That would suck. That would almost make me not want to pay for the online service if my favorite game got removed from the online service. Then again, you could just buy the actual cart from like the NES day. You could buy the original cart, or if you still have a Wii U, or if you still have 3DS laying around, you can still go to the virtual consoles on those consoles, and then you can buy the game and you can have that game forever. That's kind of why this whole service where you get these retro games does kind of suck, because you never know if the game's going to be pulled or be removed from Nintendo. They can really pull it whenever they want. It does suck. We don't actually own the game. Sometimes I kind of wish we would have had a virtual console on the Nintendo Switch to where we actually buy games each individually, but then again, it's kind of cool this way, because then you're pretty much paying $20 a year and you're pretty much getting more games than you would actually buy. You know, all those games that they're putting on the online service, you're not going to buy all those games, maybe for money reasons, or maybe a lot of them you don't actually care to play, but then this way you can try games out that you weren't normally going to try in the first place anyway. Like one game I don't really care about at all is Balloon Fight, but hey, since it's on the online service, I'm going to go ahead and dig around a little bit with Balloon Fight, try Balloon Fight out and use it. I know I don't like that game all that much, but I'm willing to give that game a chance because it's on the online service, and I'm paying $20 a year for the service, so why not try that game out? But that's really the biggest thing with this whole thing. It does suck that we're still going to have to it does suck that we're not guaranteed those games are going to stay on the servers forever, and it does suck that they may be switching games in and out, and that is one thing I wanted to talk about in this video, because I was browsing it, and it really does worry me, and it will really piss me off, actually, if they keep removing games in and out, because there is some games that I would want to play on a regular basis, so it does suck. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.